Here's a quick little video of one of my two bee klaasies molting. She's been on her back most of the morning and is now starting to do her active molt. And maybe for some size comparison, I'll show you my finger down here. Try to focus there. There we go. So in the last few minutes, she's begun her active stage of movement. So if we were able to see under there well enough, you could see that her carapace is probably now popped off, and you can barely see it between her second and third leg. This will become more prominent in a few minutes. I'm going to pause the video here and come back in a few moments. Zoom in a little bit. She's continuing her molt. Tarantulas most often start off molting on their back. Sometimes they'll be on their side or even upright. Many people get very concerned about those, but I've never had any problems with the tarantula molting upright. And certainly it's preferable to have them on their back. But she's doing typical quite well. I'm thinking this one's a she. I've looked at the ventral side, basically right in between these top two book lungs, but I can't really be sure, especially at this size at 1.5 inches. But here in a few minutes, after she's done molting, I'll take that molt and spread it on a piece of plastic and put it under a microscope. And what I have done here, my two bee Emilias have molted in the last few days, and both of them turned out to be females. But what you're doing is you're looking for parts right there, and looking to see if you have little alien ears, as it's sometimes called. Now, Brachypelmas have little nubs. The males have little nubs. The females, those nubs are longer and are usually attached in some way in a flap together. So the nubs can sometimes confuse people on gender, but you have to be careful with Brachypelmas and sexing. But we'll see what we got here in a little bit when I get a chance to look under the microscope with this one. And what I'm using for a microscope, I just happen to have a, I don't even know the brand here. Box from Tokyo, from Northwest Laboratories. Anyway, that's what I've been using, and it works quite well for that. So, back to our bee klaasi. She's actually, in terms of pushing her skin off, she's turned to the other side. There you go. So you can see her head there, beginning to show through underneath. So I'm going to pause and come back to this in a few moments when she's advanced a little further. You can see, before I pause, you can just see the pulsing that she's doing. She pushes and relaxes, pushes and relaxes. And each little push gets just a little bit further. Alright, trying this without the light because I'm going to use another light here in a little bit for something using this flashlight. But what I want to show you is from her legs down to the right and down. You can see the tear, which is part of her abdomen. The old abdomen has torn. So usually the carapace pops open and then it tears down the abdomen as they're pulling themselves out. She's at the phase right now of working her fangs, which are chelicerae free. And once those are free, she'll progress pretty quickly on getting her legs out. Alright, so she's progressing. She's got her fangs out. Now, one thing I was hoping to do here, I don't know how well it can be seen, sometimes when you backlight a tarantula leg, yeah, you can see a little bit in her toes. It should be dark. You see that little light tip at the beginning? At the tip, that is the space. So the dark part is the foot, the leg that is being pulled out. And as this progresses, as her legs get farther out, you'll be able to see this more distinctly. So you'll be able to see it just move up along the leg, and basically you're following the leg being pulled out of the old skin. And I think that's just fascinating to see. But we'll try again in a little bit and see how it progresses. Okay, trying to get this to focus again. So there's a clear picture of the legs, so you can see where the legs are in the molt. I just think that's a really cool thing to witness. So those two top legs there, the dark parts are the legs, and you can see the light through the empty parts of the leg skins. So she's coming along. And I'm going to throw the light on the other way so you can see. There we go. So her leg colors are starting to come through too. Okay. She is just about done. In fact, you can see her pulling out her last leg right now, last two legs, and she pushes it off. And those two are out. Actually, the last two on the other side, maybe one more on the other side. Actually, no, it's off. That's the old leg. So, I'm going to take that from her. Okay. We'll see her in a little bit when she's turned over. And yeah, successful molt. Yay!